Hello YouTube. This is a first impressions video of the new Gazelle by Polychop for DCS World. This was released yesterday for DCS 2. I expect it'll be released for 1.5 sometime next week. This is Polychop's first release, but it seems to be a pretty good one so far. If we look around the cockpit here, you can see textures, 3D models are all first rate. They're exactly what you'd expect out of a DCS module at this point in time. I don't think anyone will have any complaints there. External models just as good. As you can see, I'm flying with a Syrian army skin. They didn't skimp on skins at all. It's very nice to see that. Far too many modules just do one country and that's it. And they did a whole bunch. So we have France, of course, the UK, Syria, Israel, and I think even a Russian one. And I want to say there's some others, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. In terms of other content, there's a few training missions. Your standard startup tutorial, how to fire a missile, as well as how to set a custom waypoint in the navigation system there. There's also a reasonably complete manual. I mean, it's not fully complete, but it has all the basics, so it explains how to use the targeting system, the weapons, the RWR, navigation, radios, everything. So if you're willing to do a little bit of reading and run a tutorial mission, I think pretty much everything's covered. Other content is a little bit lacking. It does not have a campaign for 2.0, nor does it have any single missions. But I think they're going to make all that stuff for the Caucasus map, so of course it wouldn't be in here. Sounds are pretty decent. I don't have any complaints. I don't think I've ever actually seen a real Gazelle in real life, so I don't know what they sound like, but I mean, it sounds okay. Flight model is pretty good for an initial release. It definitely needs some refining, but it's not bad. The biggest problem with it right now is it's just a bit too twitchy. Pretty much everyone is toning down their saturation for pitch and roll, simply because if you have any more than about 50%, it becomes impossible to hover. It's just, you breathe on a stick and it tries to flip over inverted. And yes, with full control sensitivity, you can do rolls and loops and other things with it. It's very, very nimble. But right now, it's just too twitchy to use that, so everyone's had to tone it down a bit to make it controllable. Hopefully they sort that out. I don't think it's a problem with the flight model itself. I think it may just be how they interpret joystick controls. Thinking of which, the trim system is also completely broken at the moment for both force feedback and non-force feedback users. But that right there is my hands off the controls, and as you can see, as long as you're moving forwards, it's really stable, so the lack of trim isn't that big of a deal right now. More of a minor annoyance. And other than that, it's really nice. It's just, you know, it's very nimble. It has lots of engine power. It does not like to pull out of a dive. A lot of people have discovered that the hard way, myself included. But as long as you're not diving, it climbs pretty well. Certainly turns on a dime, especially in a hover. It's pretty crazy. Watch this. Make myself puke here. As you can see, it's pretty stable too. Well, other than spinning around like a top, of course. And I think that just leaves us with the aircraft itself. This is a slow aircraft. There's no question about that. This thing is... it's about the same top speed as a Huey. So about 200 kilometers an hour in level flight, although you can get it up to 300 in a dive. climb rate is decent, even with a full load. Although, as said, it does not like to recover from a dive. It tends to just mush into the ground. The weapon systems are a bit mixed. The missiles here are Hot 3s. It can carry a maximum of 4. And they are the saddest excuse for an anti-tank missile ever mounted on a helicopter. They're roughly equivalent to a TOW, and there's a reason the U.S. hasn't mounted those on a helicopter since the 70s. And this aircraft was made in the 90s. They have a range of 4.3 kilometers, and the target has to be within a 3-degree arc of your nose. So very, very restrictive. Pretty much everything in DCS is going to outrange you except maybe a T-55. So like going up against a T-90 is a nightmare. I mean, they will murder you unless you really know what you're doing. On the other hand, it has a really great targeting camera, and I'll pull that up here real quick. This thing is amazing. It's far better than what the KA-50 has. You have your daytime black and white mode, and then you also have your FLIR mode. And this thing has a laser rangefinder, of course. You can see it there. I'm at 4,200 meters in closing. It is ground stabilized, although it does not lock onto a target. This upper number up here, this D135, is my magnetic heading for the aircraft. And the number below it is the offset from that for the camera. So that's 5 degrees to the right, centered, 5 degrees to the left, and also it does have a center button. You can see me flipping the switch right there. I think I'm getting a little bit close to a SAM, maybe. I heard something blow up. What else? Oh, you can assign this to either a hat or an axis. Everything in here can be assigned to a button or an axis. It's kind of crazy. They usually skip on that stuff, but I mean, even the lights here are axis controlled. I went ahead and assigned those because I couldn't think of anything else to put on my axes. Oh, what else? I think that pretty much covers the aircraft. As said, it's not perfect, but this is a very good first release by Polychop. I'm quite impressed, and if you're a helicopter fan, I fully recommend it. This is not something I think you're going to really want to fly much on 104th, because you'll get murdered by the ground forces there, but in a less hostile mission, this aircraft should be quite good. In this particular mission, I have some Avengers, some bunkers, and some Abrams main battle tanks, which incidentally are some of the easiest tanks in the game to kill because they don't really shoot back. So I will come up over this ridge, I think, and try to take those out. Yeah, they're right over here. Hopefully I don't eat a SAM in the process. There they are. Now this aircraft gets a bit difficult to control if you drop below 100 kilometers an hour, so I'm just going to do a run and gun type attack on them. This version is the SA342M. It is only armed with HOTS, but Polychop has said they will make additional versions for free for owners of the Gazelle that will have other weapons available. Rifle. No word on when that'll happen, and honestly I'm not too concerned with it. I bought this for this one version, and anything else is just a bonus to me. That's a kill. Let's see if I can kill a tank. That's FLIR. And as you can see, they get real easy to see in that mode. Oh, 15 degrees off, that's why I can't shoot him. I might be out of bounds. Yeah, I'm out of bounds. I'm gonna have to come back on him. Hello, Sam. Eat a flare. Of course, the bushes show up as white hot, but that's not a Gazelle problem. That's common to all DCS. That's just a bug in the map, I think. This aircraft has 32 flares that can be fired singly, in pairs, or you can even set up a program. I haven't looked up how to do that yet, but it's set up somehow on that panel. That should be far enough away. Oh. And if I didn't mention it, these missiles, they may have terrible range and terrible launch parameters, but if they hit a target, they do tend to kill it. They do have a decent warhead. So at least there's that. Damage modeling for this aircraft still needs some work. It's still pretty basic, but it does have some interesting things like you can blow your engine. I've done that a few times. So away. And also, if I didn't mention it, this camera does not track targets. You have to manually keep it on there. But it is ground stabilized, so it's not too bad, as long as the target isn't moving. There's another Sam. Oh, that's not good. Dead pilot. By the way, that's another bug. Your co-pilot, despite having controls, cannot fly the aircraft if the pilot dies. And we also seem to survive crashes a little easily. But yeah, that right there's a typical end to a Gazelle flight. It's not the most survivable aircraft due to a lack of a missile warning system, a jammer, laser warning system, or anything like that. This is not a first-tier combat aircraft. It's a piece of junk, but it's a beautifully rendered piece of junk. So I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and if you do buy this thing, good luck and have fun.